We've had more pro skates dropping and some complimentary promo edits with a trick that's had a few people flapping. There's been an epidemic of people taking tea breaks during toe and heel rolls, but Kayla saved the day with the most topside topsoul ever. MK is the patron saint of deserved pro skates. We've had the Blading Cup and the FMI with people trying to break themselves in half. Wait. Edits that flew under the radar. A video jamboree with 4 edits in one day. More new skates, new signings. The youth took over FISE Shanghai. Roces are keeping it simple but is all well behind the scenes, and no one's having more fun than Iqon. Let's get into it. All the stunts are performed by professionals. Do not attempt this yourself. So 2.5 years after Yandi dunked on Razors about their incentive pay and turned down the pro cult, he's got his and Standard's first signature skate, the Yandriel Silverio Omni V2. The brown and orange colours are inspired by the Mamie sapote, the official fruit of Cuba. Fabiola's skate colour is also inspired by her favourite fruit, this time
Açaí, that's the name of it. Yeah.
So the açaí fruit from Brazil, so it's like a purplish tone with pinkish.
Mate, more skates colourways need to be inspired by national fruit and dishes. Have a skate inspired by a Tesco meal deal. The official food of Jersey is the Jersey Royal Potato, mate. Lovely, like, earthy tones, man. That would actually look beautiful on the skate. Or base it off the world famous Jersey Cow, mate. Stunning tan colourway. Like, what brand wants to give me a signature skate or just a signature cuff that comes with a pint of Jersey milk and some spuds? Yandi's promo is a beautifully put together piece that opens with a nostalgic feeling like high 8 footage, and Yandi gets tucked into all those moves I associate with him and look forward to seeing, like the top sunnies and the variations of it, the fakey 180 fish brains with the fully wench grabs, looking like Muhammad Ali looking down on Sonny Liston. There's good spot selection, some craftiness, his brother makes an appearance, there's a great snap of them as kids with the Lloyd Christmas haircut special.
G'day, mate.
He also throws in a handful of unexpected moments that keep it fresh and make it feel like he's building on his previous edit. Like, clearly a lot of thought has gone into the music, editing and overall production of the thing. The skate itself comes with his 50-50 balanced 2 frames and 58mm 92A chroma wheels, as well as tan anti-rockers so you can choose whatever suits you. They're all brands run by the same person, but it's fairly rare like you get a setup like that and it's not just a stock experience. People had a bit of a nightmare with the first batch.
The plastic also feels a little bit stiffer, huh?
So it's good to see the V2 has been updated and reworked. There's a new plastic material being used. It's more flexible, as the first one was pretty stiff, but good for wizard skating.
You'll get a little bit more room on the inside of the shell for your toes and your heels.
They've widened the ankles to remove the pressure points, so the Omni V2 should actually feel like a completely new skate. They've got a brand new extra small size shell. The internal length for that one is 259mm and is designed for 37 to 38 feet.
It is a size 4.5 US.
Standard also announced a new team rider with a mysterious kind of post that said,
"A new rider has entered the portal,"
which sounds like a 90s kids game show or like a line from Tron.
Finish the game! No!
Either way, it was cool hand Luke Naylor, which feels like a very good fit for the brand. I enjoyed his intro edit. There's some great spot selections in there that look really fun and allow him to show off his range. He's creative with his environment as well, and he's just kind of quite nifty on the rollerblades. There was a few tricks that caused a little bit of discussion, like the opening trick, which was really cool and certainly difficult, but people defo picked up on the front foot going walkabout a little bit before it found its home. It was like he'd been sat on the bog for like half an hour texting or like playing on the internet, and his legs had gone numb and he couldn't quite get it to respond the way he wanted to. There was a Roy that looked like it regretted what it ordered on the menu and nearly went for a front side, a mistrial playing kiss chase with the front boot.
Get over here now.
And people took exception to the step in heel roll because it was like top soul, then a bit topside wheelbarrow, then heel roll.
All around me are familiar faces.
I mean, to me it looked really smooth, but maybe he could have jumped into it. Bar all that, really sick edit. Another edit that had a trick that had gums flapping was Levi's Pro Skate edit, and we'll get back to the trick in a minute. I've spoken a lot about Levi recently, and this video continues that narrative. He's got this raw energy that encapsulates the original spirit of street skating and can channel that into any traditional banger you like, but also more technical moves, and he can bring flair as well. There's a freedom and creative playfulness that means he's up for skating anything and can surprise you with something different. He's just a really exciting skater to watch and quite hard to kind of pigeonhole. In previous edits, Leffy's done rail rolls and then he's done rail rolls to grinds. He's been toying with the idea of rail roll grinds, and in this edit he does a top acid rail roll. Now it's not a wildly new idea. Andy Cruz has done a fair share of them and mixed in like tiny ledgers as well. John Elliott has thrown these out before, Dan Sterling has done them, Michael Briggs and so on. This one felt pretty mental. It'd be easier to do a regular roll, but putting your legs in that acid position is asking for your body to get twisted as you fall. So I posted a reel about it because I thought it was a fairly like standout moment and like something worth talking about it. And for the best part, like people seem to really like it. People were pointing out that it was probably actually scarier than doing a top acid. You've got obviously homie Bill in there being like control. It's been signed off by Eric Bailey. You've got Gumby in there saying so fucking sick. The roll to KG is insane. And Gumby is a man that is like very familiar with balls to the walls, risky kind of manoeuvres. So I think that's a fairly good measure of how mad it was. Some people didn't like it, and that's totally fine. If you're not into it, yeah, fair enough. But some people can't help but sabotage their own opinion by saying just like too much. First it was anyone else does it and it's a no-go. Have a pro whose dick's in everyone's mouth and suddenly it's all good. SMH. Makes no sense at all. Well, like, of course it makes no sense because that's an unsubstantiated, like, hypothetical imaginary situation. Like, you're fighting ghosts like Derek Akora.
Derek sometimes gets possessed.
Mary loves dick. Mary loves dick.
I said it'd be a cool idea 3 years ago. Find a square rail, roll a topside, get that topside foot just rolling on it and the front foot the normal way, mate. You absolute psychopath, that'd be mega. Then poor Bobby Spazov gets dragged into it for some reason. Like, Bobby Spaz rolls a coping and everyone went for him. Now suddenly the kid with the new pro skate does it and it's all good. Mate, you've blown it. You've put the cheese in the trap, gotten greedy, forgotten and eaten it and trapped yourself. You're talking about two different things. You've tried to write your shopping list by pouring like sugar into it too, trying to write the words down, but you've just spoilt it, mate. You're confused. Bobby missing the trick he intended to do in a skate park and posting it thinking people won't care is not the same as Leffy very intentionally and successfully doing a rail roll in the street, something he's been building towards as well. It's not like Bobby had been experimenting with the idea beforehand and then put it in an edit. And I'm sure he loves you bringing up a missed trick from like 3 years ago to try and explain why you don't like a landed trick.
It's pretty flimsy evidence.
And then if you start to look into who's aligned themselves with your opinion, you find out it's the kind of people that like their own comment, then use multiple of their own other accounts to like that comment as well. Andy Cruz has also give his blessing. The votes are in. It's a hit. Bobby can't catch a break. Even Iqon was having a little joke about him. The trick that there is absolutely no doubt about is Kayla's topsoul. It's unbelievable, man. It's so good. I can't believe how good it is. Is that it? David Sizemore was in there. Where is that comment? Topside is topside. And he is absolutely bang on. Jeremy Raff, Daily Bread cover material. That is Totty like topside of the year material. I mean, it's already run. Let's wrap it up. Who's going to beat it? Absolutely no way. God hates rolled topsides. She also did this beauty of a fast slide the other day and actually jumped into it, not like some people who step into them, which is an epidemic at the moment. Oh, and she was popping off of the Blading Cup as well. If you're into the vids and what I'm doing, you can support by grabbing one of these hats, skate within your limits and pay the mortgage, because nobody wants to skate fast and die, realistically, not at like the average age of 35 to 40. There's also a Patreon, there's channel membership, exclusive videos, all that kind of good stuff. I do have other merch you can buy. Buying muzzle merch helps me out. Genuinely, it makes a big difference and I really appreciate the support, so cheers. The Blading Cup happened the other week and the course is always a point of discussion. It reminded me a bit of NIST 96 this year and I liked it, and as much as people moan, good footage always comes out of it, loads of the top pro skaters go along, there's a massive trade fair, and they gave out 15 grand in prize money.
We have $15,000 in prize money.
So your mum cooked you dinner and you can eat it or go to bed hungry. First the vets, always good seeing the older lot still bang up for it. Mike French was on board, Scott Crawford was getting involved. I'm pretty sure Matt Mickey was trying to put him off when he called the famous Aussie a Kiwi.
Crawford backside full torque all the way from New Zealand.
Chris Edwards lost the plot and forgot he had any responsibilities, launching himself to a heart-in-mouth disaster frontside like it was 1992. He was so pumped, I'm surprised the bin didn't get lobbed. Randy always puts on a good show and was ripping it around and is normally pretty much the favourite to win, but this year went to Billy O'Neill, who gave the course a right seeing to, and I was not expecting this trick from Billy. Who knew he had this one in the bag? Roche's secret agent Fran Frammer was on a mission. He just seemed to be knocking out trick after trick. Defo a deserving winner of the Open. He also found the hidden orange wheels, but followed that up by flooring himself. Swings and roundabouts, I suppose. The women's event was packed full of action. Possibly one of the best blading cups for the women in a while. Solid performances all round, but stealing the show were the likes of Soa Jung, the youngest competitor there, and such a bright star for the future. Tie with a collection of baggers, and in a fairy tale like moment after being there for the arrival of her first pro skate, and all the congratulations and celebrations around that, which is incredibly positive to see. Chihiro went out there and proved why she is so highly regarded with a top class performance. I keep repeating myself, but it feels like it's been a great year for female rollerblading.
That was so entertaining.
I had a heart attack a couple times, but that was the best ladies final ever.
That shit was wild.
Yes.
I have nothing but respect and admiration for exactly how the finals went down.
The pro event ended up getting rained off, which is a shame because it looked like some really good bits were going down. Shout out to Gumby for the disaster pud slide. Andrew Broom's life flashed before his very eyes. And real bad man, Ren Fujiwara. Give me more skating from Ren. He is top class. MVP of the Blading Cup was Todd McInerney.
Yeah. Call that type of
Twirly birds.
Oh.
Yeah, twirly birds. I was living through his posts. That was my connection to what was happening.
I'm gonna tell you one fucking thing. I'm winning this comp tomorrow. Do you understand? I'm fucking taking this shit.
The following day was the Negretti Memorial Skate, which had a positively huge turnout, and this absolute banger from Leon Humphreys. Heavens knows why, but Razors had the Don Bruce Colt samples at the Blading Cup. It's like Bullseye when they lose.
Sorry lads, I've got to say it. Look at what you could have won. Come on.
And it also feels like someone holding on to their ex-partner's stuff. Just give it to them and like let the relationship go, man. Stop being clingy, you creep. Matthias Knoll was like 2024. Let's clean this industry up, man. Let's get the skates to the people that deserve them. Fabiola da Silva, done. Next, Robbie Pitts with the most staunchly Robbie Pitts skate going. The Robbie Pitts Fantasy 72, a name that actually works on a few different levels. It's brilliant. Sometimes you see a pro skate and you wonder how much input the pros actually had, or you think that skate could be for anybody. Not with this one. This is very much Robbie's vision. The skates are a Playline, Power Slide, Kaiser, MyFit collaboration.
You son of a bitch.
It's got a blue transparent shell, which is the original sway boot, silver laces, pink soles, a Pro Prime liner with a yellow furry tongue, this little like bubble on it, and movable Velcro patches to style it any way you like. Kind of like Crocs with gibbets actually. It'd be really cool if there's like additional Velcro patches you can buy. That's an idea for you. A Velcro patch of MK just dishing out skates, saving the industry. Like, I've been lucky enough to see the skates in real life and they are wild in the best possible way. Robbie owns his domain. He is unique, he is authentic, and from the outside uncompromising when it comes to expressing himself, which is just a good life lesson, and I'm so glad to see that celebrated in rollerblading. Historically, rollerblading spent a fair bit of time letting the opinions of others dictate what we should be doing, and like, it didn't make a fucking bit of difference positively. I think Robbie is a shining example, maybe quite literally a shining example, of a freedom a lot of people claim rollerblading is about. I've seen people question Robbie's abilities, but I'm pretty sure you can't do half the stuff he does without solid fundamentals. and a focus purely on abilities starts to sound a little bit like a jock mentality in a sport. Like, let's get out the measuring tapes, who's done the longest grind, who can actually jump the highest, like, you're the winner, here's your pro skate. And I always thought like rollerblading was meant to be counterculture. I'd like to think people are smart enough to see through novelty, but some people will accuse Robbie of being exactly that, novel. That massively undervalues what Robbie represents. I think he's authentically unique, and there's a niche of people skating doesn't have a lot of that will relate to Robbie and this skate. Robbie lives this life. It's not a gimmick to get more attention or to try and sell some skates. And he's absolutely deserving of the skate for everything he brings to rollerblading. He is one of the few people out there actually pushing and challenging what rollerblading can be, which opened doors not only to new realms of variety that anyone can take inspiration from, but also who is drawn to rollerblading. Massive shout out to Robbie and MK for making some big moves this year. There was a bonanza of edits on Friday 8th of November. First of all, Geoff Phillips finally found the keys to his front door and actually left the house. He is an underbar adventurer, likes to loiter around the bottom bunk, can get a little extra out of the spot type, will make a non-spot a spot and skate bits in a way you don't really expect, and also add in little details that defo go undervalued but make tricks really interesting and could easily see you stitch yourself up like a kipper. Good to see him back. Cameron Talbott is swinging for Soti. He's had In Transit with Butter TV, Dreamland filmed by Danny Malm, and he's just dropped For the Birds filmed by Elijah Jennett. No fisheye, no slow-mo, no second angles, no refunds, no. And it's worked a treat. Very different to Dreamland, which felt like I'd drunk a glow stick. The pacing in this one is spot on and lets you fully appreciate how big some of these tricks are. There are some hefty tricks, but Cameron just absolutely pisses them like no sketch. That king crawl he does was like a pilgrimage, a spiritual journey that would change a man. He has no need for material belongings anymore. He's freed of the regular burdens of life. Cameron is crafty as well. He's very creative and skilled enough to get more out of his spots and make them hard tricks as well. This might only be understood by people from the UK, but because of the Fleetwood Mac song, I couldn't help but think of like the M&S advert while I was watching this. This is no ordinary edit. This is a Cameron Talbott edit. Mad they're still advertising the Kean Pro boot. Cameron is surely up next for a pro model. And a massive shoe-in for Soti. Big moments for female rollerblading at the moment, and Chihiro has dropped her edit to go with her pro skate, and it's immaculate. Everything she does is clean, precise and stylish. Perfect. Such a good example of rollerblading to show an outsider. I mean, she makes it look a lot easier than it actually is, but it's always very cool looking. This is the one I'd be reaching to show a non-blader. There's just so little to fault. A very well deserved skate, and I hope all the momentum around female skating continues to grow into next year. And then the last thing I seen pop up on Friday was Moonshine's Team Wheel edit. More females doing the thing with Kay and Ali, who took a fairly meaty ledge to drop in the video. All the usual suspects are in there, and really cool to see young bull Sebastian Castro in there as well. One I think that's gone under the radar is the new TNEC edit with Michael Kraft and Kean, which is a great pairing by the way. Kind of feels like when the teacher lets you choose your partner for a project. Both of them are tech, creative, fiddly skaters. Fiddly is probably not a very complimentary sounding word, but it's accurate in this case I think. It's equation skating, there's a bit of math involved. Sean is a bit deeper down the rabbit hole in terms of this style of skating. Like, his brain is just wired to find all the little bits of the environment he can use and the best way to use them. If you're into that kind of skating, you can gorge yourself on this one. Call me Mystic Moisey, because another one of my predictions came true. A few days after I said this, they should definitely do a promo edit involving a garage and have somebody like sliding, and you think they're sliding under the car, they're actually sliding under the skate to do some maintenance on it, or somebody arriving at like the petrol station and getting their wheels changed or something like that. Yeah, can have the idea for free. Dead Wheels and Ryan Gillette posted up their ad. I mean, clearly it had nothing to do with me, and it was an obvious thing for me to suggest, but this is incredible, like so well done. And Dead are at it again with the Black Dragon skate team. You've got wheels, there's a water bottle, a patch, a t-shirt, a jumper. Should have gone for a lunchbox as well, and that microphone that Cisco had. The lineup for that team is off the Ricky tick. There's a few snaps in there, so hopefully there's an edit on the way as well. The Asian youth shut down FISE Shanghai, dominating the podium. 11-year-old local Han was carving around, throwing spins and big flips to take third. Ryzen's superstar Soa brought style and control with big spins, flips and technical grinds for second. And after taking third at the World Skate Games, May put on a stormer of a performance to take the win. She seemed to have the run of the place and was getting around pretty effortlessly considering it's ginormous. Really healthy to see out of the top 8. 6 are teenagers, 1 was 11 and the oldest skater there was 23. And actually the top 3 have a combined age of 40, which is probably the average age of a single skater these days. Like I said before, female skating is going to be the place where you see the most growth in the industry and the most development, so brands really need to be getting onto it. I did notice May has picked up a bit of sponsorship from Champion Japan, which is a nice touch and positive to see, man. The men's finals was unfortunately rained off, so they went with the qualification runs. I thought Kudo was going to continue his run of wins, and I was really looking forward to Jae-yoon putting on a style clinic, but they both got clattered and put themselves out of commission. So Grandmaster Takeshi took third, Boy Wonder Danilo took second, and Diaby won the thing. Now there's a picture of Diaby wearing a Thrasher t-shirt in the warm-ups. It's not the worst thing in the world, but like, you couldn't have picked any other t-shirt like. The maddest thing is, he packed a suitcase to go there. He was like, right, can only take a few things. Absolutely must remember my Thrasher t-shirt. Like, I'll just get that shoved in there next to my skates. Mental. Another positive there with the men's results. Out of the top 10, 6 are teenagers. Shout out to Keshi Asatoko, 38. Get in there, mate. Sticking it to him still. The latest from the FISE lot is a collaboration with the Blading Cup for Blading Cup Europe. John absolutely loves an excuse to get out of the country and go somewhere a bit nice. John Euro Jolly Julio. The Montpellier stop is already a notable one with so much going on. It's going to be really interesting to see what the Blading Cup bring there, and it's so sick that they're continuing to expand and like develop their brand. Like, is there going to be like qualifiers all over the world now? And like, really good having more events, because that's like the best way to bring the community together, get outside eyes on it, and then also like attract a bit of external sponsorship. Are we going to see Summer Clash coming back as well? So Jaro isn't taking Nick's spot on the Pro USD team because he's been announced as pro for Iqon, essentially changing which bunk he's sleeping on at the power side gaff. Fair play to the guy, he's had a good year, won some competitions. Maybe USD were like, oh, you might have to wait a little bit longer unless you go to Iqon. So he's gone to Iqon. Narut Picard has also jumped back to the Iqon team and is a pro rider. And he says, like, after discovering different paths, I'm enjoying Iqon brand as a pro rider. I needed to explore different styles and skates, but it feels good to be back. This sounds like he's cheated on his girlfriend or something and he's trying to make up excuses for it. Very excited about the big things are cooking. Can't wait to share them all. Clearly they're going for a new direction and a rebrand, and I think it was pretty well needed. The new skate is obviously the centerpiece for this change in direction, and it's very different to the previous ones, very clean, apparently based on the best of 7 different skate molds, visually a lot less complicated, although it is Iqon, so they tread pretty closely to over-engineering things, as can be seen with the mounting systems. There's 3. So the things are called ACT. A is for aggressive, so the aggressive UFS mount. C is for classic, so a classic mount. And T is for Trinity, so Trinity mount. And this is all making me feel like I'm on Sesame Street. They look interesting, definitely better than the last things they released, and I think it's cool that Matthias is keen to keep trying new things and keep trying to push the sport, but I hope it's not a jack of all trades, master of none kind of situation. There was also the Frankie Morales Invitational, and like Frankie likes to build a few extra obstacles for the thing and then test them out before everybody else has a go on them to make sure they're legit, and I mean, couldn't have tested them any better really. Like, these are some of the best tricks that went down on them as well. Frankie's unbelievable, man. Imagine like building these obstacles for the competition and just actually destroying them before it even starts. Victor Jean-Claude Van Damme took 3rd, Jeff Downer's Beard took 2nd, and Zack Pollock went full throttle to win the thing. He was flying all over the place. I still can't get over how big the ceiling fans are there. It looks like they've stolen them off a Chinook helicopter. Special shout out to Todd, who was having an absolute stormer of a time, but unfortunately, like, worst case scenario happened and he ended up breaking his tibia and fibula. Like, no, wait. Wishing him a speedy recovery. Back to Zack Pollock again. He's just dropped an edit as well, and apparently he's been sitting on the footage for a while, but the timing of this is pretty spot on. I'd have so much respect if he's actually waited to win a comp to drop it. I've counted 5 different pairs of M12s in this, like going for at least 1 clip in each of the releases over the last year or 2. It's a good edit, man. He gets rowdy. Also correct to change Pollock to Potluck, which is a good nickname. I think he should take that one up. Talking of Roces, they've re-upped the popular blacked out M12 and 5th element, which is smart and very safe because it sells well. I think the black M12 is their most popular skate of all time ever, but it also kind of feels a little bit like they've run out of ideas. It seems like the Cappuccino, which is a good looking skate, was left over from Martina, and now they're just there like twiddling their thumbs, not knowing what to do. They were bought out almost a year ago, and by this point I was thinking, oh, you know, with like fresh investment, motivation, fresh ideas, there'd be a lot more going on if that was the intention. And I hope I'm wrong, but it feels like they're just slightly stepping back. You know, we'll put these like safe skates out there, get a bit of money off that. Not sure what we're doing with the team really, and I wouldn't be too surprised if they just start to fizzle out like a silent fart, but hopefully that doesn't happen. I mean, what do people think of this? So Nick Lomax dropped his farewell Ag Pro Team edit the other day, and it's a banger. For a guy who claims,
my body's sideways, I'm so old now, my fingers are hanging off, and I just can't keep up making sections anymore, it's killing me.
He can still absolutely hold his own at a top level. It's a video that shows he's still pushing skating and equally still pushing himself. There was a time when it felt like America dominated skating and they were the only ones that would get any spotlight, but Nick was part of a select few UK skaters who battered down the door and made people pay attention. He says he wants to make way for the future, which is extremely admirable and actually professional to know when it's best for you to step back, but also what's best for the future of the industry. He's also spot on that USD has a lot of riders that could be moving up to that pro level. So I've crunched the numbers, done a deep analysis on the current flock and come up with a list of those in kind of order of who I think is most likely to take a position. That'll be coming in a new video soon. Sticking with USD, they recently dropped their Copenhagen tour video, and I don't think I've seen Iqon more pumped about anything. I just expect Iqon is able to do anything he wants. So I was a little bit surprised, but also I really enjoyed the fact that he was pumped about landing tricks. He's in another dimension when it comes to technical skating, and I know that might bamboozle like an outsider or somebody who's never seen it before, but we're not outsiders, so we just get to like appreciate how absolutely mad he is. How does he remember what tricks he has or hasn't done before? Michael Muller's got a fair few hefty tricks in there and actually some like Iqon type tricks as well. Carlos more than plays his role, bringing in the big tricks on and off the skates. He's got this absolutely enormous sweat stance on a kinked curve down rail, and then an absolutely ginormous topsoul down a kink trail. There's also some really great footage from the Copenhagen B-roll, and it just looks like one of the best contests going in rollerblading at the moment. If you haven't been before, I suggest you go. I haven't been, but I'm gonna go. Winner of the Women's Winter Class 2023, Daniela Salgado, has now been announced on the Gods team, and she's also got a pro wish frame. More female skaters getting recognition, like things are moving in the right direction. No two ways about it, Christmas is almost here, mince pie season is almost upon us, and do you remember the Hamburg Christmas Jam last year? The one where they had all those mad obstacles set up and like David Sizemore was flying up rails and slapping dragons in the face. Well, they're going to be back again this year, December the 7th. The video from last year is up. Go and watch that. Get infused about it. Maybe make a trip there. Go to a Christmas market and get involved in a bit of the skating. Also, quick shout out to Happy Tooth, who released his 5th street section of the year and did this crafty little number on this like upside down boat. Cheers for watching the vid. Massive thank you to my patrons and channel members. I simply couldn't do this without your support, so I appreciate it deeply and truly. Here's a couple of other videos you can watch until I'm back again, which will hopefully be soon. Loads of ideas I want to get out there. Spotty Dog,